Hey, this is Florian, OnlineTennisInstruction.com. In today's video, we want to take a close look at the body position at contact on the two-handed backhand and what that means for your two-hander. Let's take a close look here at Novak Djokovic's two-handed backhand, one of the best of all time. Now Novak starts with the unit turn. He turns the upper body, gets the body in position. The hands are doing almost nothing. And then he swings up to contact, which we can see right here. So here's the interesting thing about the contact position, which I want to focus on today. Novak's left shoulder is behind his right shoulder, and that means his upper body is still pointing slightly to the left side. Now, the reason I think that is so important is that most players that I see at the recreational level tend to over-rotate with the upper body, so that at contact, that left shoulder is actually in front of the right shoulder. Now, I believe that the reason for this is that players hear a lot that it's all about rotation. So they try to rotate the upper body, and a lot of players try to throw that left shoulder around, and as a result, over-rotate. Now, of course, rotation plays a role here, but the idea is more to naturally uncoil from the unit turn where your shoulders are turned more than your hips, rather than to violently throw your shoulder around. And if you do that correctly, you'll get into this kind of a contact position. And if we continue the clip here, we see that there is just a small amount of upper body rotation involved here around and after contact. Let's take a look at that one more time in super slow motion. Now let's take a look at the same thing on Victoria Azarenka's two-handed backhand. Azarenka hits a great two-handed backhand. And as we can see here, she also gets into that coiled position where the shoulders are turned more than the hips at the end of the unit turn. And from here she uncoils up to contact, which is where most of the upper body rotation happens. Now at contact here we can see a very similar position to what we saw with Novak Djokovic's two-handed backhand, where that left shoulder is behind that right shoulder. As a result, we also see that her upper body is still pointing slightly to the left side. Now when I let the clip run here in a second, you can see that there's very little rotation left, and it's not like she's throwing that left shoulder around. Instead, it's more natural uncoiling from the end of the unit turn up to contact. Okay, so let me just quickly summarize what we saw here. At contact, the left shoulder is behind the right shoulder. That is, if you're right-handed, of course. If you're left-handed, it will be the other way around. And the upper body is still pointing slightly towards the left side. Now, most of the upper body rotation happens when you uncoil from the end of the unit turn up to contact. And around contact, there's actually very little upper body rotation happening. So what can you do with your own two-handed backhand? I would highly recommend to take a look at some video. You can easily take a video with a smartphone and an app called Coach's Eye nowadays, or you can just take a video camera and take a look at the key body positions and see if it looks similar for you, or if possibly you're over-rotating, which I see very often. If you enjoyed this video, I'd like to ask you to click the like button below and also subscribe to my YouTube channel if you haven't done so yet, because then you will receive all of the newest videos.